ועומדו שני האנושים אשר להם הוריב לפני השם, לבני הכהנים והשופטים אשר יהיו ביומים ההם, ודרשו השופטים היטב, והנה עת שקר עת, שקר אונו באחיו. If you look at this passage, it starts with Kohanim Hashoftim. When it comes to the Drisha, it says Hashoftim. The Kohanim is taken off. It starts with Kohanim Hashoftim and ends Hashoftim without the Kohanim. The Meshech Chochmah brings this and he asks a question. Can the Kohen Gadol be Meshamesh of Av Bezdin? Can then Bezdin use the Urim Vetumim from the Kohen Gadol to verify whether the Edim, the witnesses, are saying Emes or Sheker? Can we rely on the Kohen Gadol with the Urim Vetumim? Or perhaps we cannot? This is the question from the Meshech Chochmah. What is the answer? We have a whole sugya in Bava Metzia, a machlokes, between Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus and Rabbi Yehoshua. Rabbi Eliezer was from Beis Shammai, and Rabbi Yehoshua from Beis Hillel. The sugya of Tanur Shelachnai, a Tanur of Cheres made like a snake, coiled, filling up the gap with sand. Is that a kli or not? Is it mekabel tumah if you find a sheretz inside or not? Rabbi Eliezer said it's tohor. Rabbi Yehoshua said it's tomeh. This idea is not good. This was the idea of Rabbi Eliezer, to be able to be metaher the kitchens. Every time you find a mouse, a dead mouse in an oven, everything inside becomes tomeh. It became a big issue, and it became a public machlokes. The Gemara in Bava Metzia, Davnun Testament base, Rabbi Eliezer had a big confrontation. People stopped listening to him. Ve'oiso hayoim heishiv Rabbi Eliezer kol teshuvo shebe'olom ve'lo kiblu mehmenu. They were not mekabel from him. So he said, Im alocho kamoisi, if the law is like me, choruv ze yochiach. This boxer tree should prove it. The boxer tree, derech nes, uprooted itself and it moved 200 feet, 100 amas. Some say 400 amas. What do you say now? Everybody answered to him, Ein mevin re'oyo min ha-choruv. You don't bring re'oyo from a nes from a boxer tree. So he said, if the aloch is like me, the brook of water that's running over here should prove it. The brook of water started to change the current the opposite way, upwards, not downwards. So you see, aloch is like me. They answered back to him, you don't bring raya from water. So he got very upset and he says, if the aloha is like me, the walls of the Beis Hamidrosh should prove it. The walls start to fall down. They bend like the pizza tower. Rabbi Yeshua saw that and started screaming. If Talmidei Chachomim have a private dispute, you walls, what have anything to do with it? Stop. And the walls stayed tilted. And they did not straighten up mipnei kevoido shel Rabbi Eliezer, because of the covet of Rabbi Eliezer and Hurkanus, Rabbi Eliezer HaGodol. And the Gemara says, if you look at those walls, they still tilted. They did not fall down because of the covet of Rabbi Yehoshua. So Rabbi Eliezer HaGodol said, if aloch is like me, min ha-shomayim, they should prove it. Right away a bath call came from Shomayim and he said, why are you starting up with Rabbi Eliezer? The halocho in Shomayim is like Rabbi Eliezer bechol mokom, in every single place. Always halocho like Rabbi Eliezer. At that moment Rabbi Yehoshua stood up on his feet and he said, Toiro lav bashomayim hi. The Torah is not in Shomayim. Why is that so? Rabbi Yirmiyah says, Shekvar nitno Torah mihar Sinai. The Torah was given Har Sinai, and we don't listen to a psak halacha from Shomayim. The Torah says, Acharei Rabim lehatos. You follow the Roiv. You don't follow the Baskol. Most of us, he said, we paskin that the Tanu Shelachnai is Tome, and this is the halacha. Rabbi Nosson found Eliyahu Hanavi, and he asked him, what is HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Shomayim doing right now? Eliyahu Hanavi answered, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is smiling and he says, Nitzchuni bonai, your children won me. The halacha is like Eretz, not like Shomayim. They put Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus in Hiram. Who is going to tell Rabbi Eliezer HaGodol that he is in Hiram? Rabbi Kiva said, I'll be the shliach to tell them that he's in Hiram. Rabbi Kiva changes clothing to black, dark clothing, like an oval. He went and he sat next to his Rebbe, but with 4 amos in distance, like a menuda. He didn't want to tell him. He wanted to be meramis him. He asked him, Akiva, what's going on? Rebbe, I think that your chaverim are being mizrachik from you. He understood. Rebbe Eliezer got up tore his begodim, took off his shoes, and he sat down on the ground like an evel. He started to cry. 1/3 of the economy went down. Some say that even the iso, the dough in the hands of the bakers, the noshim baking, it blew up. Tofach. The Gemara says whatever Rabbi Eliezer put his eyes into, it burned down. Rabbi Gamliel was traveling in a boat. A hurricane came and he almost overturned that boat. He got up and said, Ribono shel olam, I did not do it for my kavod, I did it. Shelo yirbu machloikes beYisrael. And the storm stopped. Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus was a brother-in-law to Rabbi Gamliel. His wife was Rabbi Gamliel's sister, and her name was Ima Sholom. She was scared that Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus, her husband, is going to say Tachnunim, Nefilas Apayim, right after Shachris, and with his Tachnunim is going to kill her brother. She makes sure that every single day we speak to him, to her husband, to Rabbi Eliezer HaGodel, between Shachris and Nefilas Apayim should be a hefsek. This way the Nefilas Apayim is not so powerful. There was one day Rosh Chodesh that she thought there was 2 days Rosh Chodesh, but actually was only 1 day Rosh Chodesh, and she did not stop him between Shemone Esrei and Nefilas Apayim. She thought there was no Nefilas Apayim. She went to answer the door. There was a Oni asking for bread. Meanwhile, Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkanus said Tachnunim, Nefilas Apayim. All of a sudden, she heard the shofar from the house of Rabbi Gamliel that he was niftar that moment. She said, I have a Kabbalah from my father's house. All the she'orim are closed, besides one sha'ar. Sha'ar oino'o, sha'ar of hurting somebody else's feelings. My brother hurt my husband's feelings. Purim and Chayrim. I couldn't help it. You see from this Gemara, the Torah is not in Shomayim. So the Meshech Chochmah wants to answer the question we said before. Can Bezdin use the Urim Betumim to prove whether the Edim are saying Emes or are saying Sheker? And the answer is no. Torah lav bashomayim hu. You don't look at the Urim Betumim. That's Ruchnius. Even if you tell me that Urim Betumim is given after Har Sinai, this is what the Torah is telling you over here. When you have a riv, ועומדו שני האנשים אשר הם הריב לפני השם, לפני הכהנים והשופטים. The Kohanim and the Shoftim. The Kohen Gadol is there. He is allowed to be the Av Bezdin, like the Mishnah says in Sanhedrin, Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph. But the Kohen Gadol is not allowed to ask to the Urim Betumim what is the Mishpat. Even though it's the Choshen Mishpat, he is not allowed to ask the Urim Betumim what is the Mishpat. They have to make drishos and hakirot to find out if the edim are kosher or not. Therefore the Torah says, V'dorshu hashoftim heitev. The shoftim should do a inquiry, a bediko in edim, not the Kohen Gadol. This is what the Meshech Chochmah says. Speaking about Onoah hurting somebody, this Erev Rosh Chodesh, Elul Tovshin Ein Aleph, in Asifas, his Hoireruth in Shikun Square, the Dayan Rav Sholem Pollack said a very moving story. Rav Sholem Pollack, for many years, he didn't have children. Later, he had 4 daughters, after many bakoshos and many tefillos. But he was still not happy that he did not have who is going to say Kaddish after him. And he went to all the Mekubolim, all the Tzadikim, all the Kvorim, and Baruch Hashem, he was Zoichet to a Ben Zochor, his 5th child. After a couple of months, he noticed something is wrong with the child. He went to specialists and he was told that this child is autistic. So he was sort of happy that now he knows what is wrong with the child. So he asked, what is the medicine for somebody who is autistic? And the doctor said, there is no medicine for that. The child is missing part of his brain. There are 3 brains, the Chochmah, Bina, and Da'as. This child does not have that brain that's called Da'as. He's autistic. There's nothing we can do. Again, he went to all the tzaddikim to get a bracha. He wants the child to follow him. He wants the child should be a normal child. He came to Yerushalayim, to the Shar Hashomayim, the Yeshivas HaMekubolim. And the Rosh Yeshiva over there is Rab Gamliel Rabinovich, Shlita. Rabbi Gamliel says, you should go to Rabbi Yisrael Yankov Fisher. He is a person that has Ruach HaKodesh, and he can tell you what and why. He came to Rabbi Yisrael Yankov Fisher from Bezdin, from the Eid HaCharedos. Rabbi Yisrael Yankel Fisher starts to scream at Rab Sholem Pollack and he says, "You hurt somebody very badly. Who is that person?" Onoas Devorim. Rab Sholem Pollack is a very idle person. He would never hurt anybody. He was very disturbed and confused. Who did he hurt? He's not a Ba'al Machlokes. So he went to the Komarna Rebbe and he asked him, maybe you can tell me what Rabbi Yisrael Yankel Fisher meant to say that I hurt somebody. The Komarna Rebbe says, I see a name Shmuel. I don't know who that is, but the name Shmuel comes to my mind. Rav Sholem Pollack does not know anybody with the name Shmuel that he ever heard. So he went to any person with the name Shmuel that he recognized, that he knows, and he asked for Mechilu. But nobody knew what he's talking about until he realized that there is a name Shmuel that he did hurt. And it was when he was a bocher in yeshiva at the age of 16, learned in the yeshiva Popo in Williamsburg. And Rab Shulam was a ilui. The mashgiach was a young man, 22 years old, and Rab Shulam was not able to be mekabel moros from somebody who was not as smart as he is. He was a gaver. So he used to hurt Rab Shmuel, the mashgiach from the yeshiva of Popo in Williamsburg. That is the person that Rabbi Yisrael Yankel Fisher meant. That is the person that the Commander Rebbe meant. The Shmuel, who is today in Yerushalayim, and he's a Rosh Yeshiva today. He went to Yerushalayim and he found the Rosh Yeshiva in Popo, and he asked the Mechila. The Rosh Yeshiva says to Rav Shulam Pollack, why did you come now? Why didn't you come before? It is already a little bit too late. ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום.